Alright everyone, this deserves its own video, even though I did talk about it yesterday in the the Styx Hexenhammer Show, episode 8, which is the NBC dug through its archives maliciously to try to get, stuff that they've got on Trump from yesteryear in order to try to make him look bad, because Orange Man bad. They've been doing this all along. It's like, they didn't do this for Obama. They didn't dig out his gay marriage comments from when he was running in, what was it, for the state legislature the first time around. They didn't dig that out during the Doma battle in order to say, no, he's not actually a gay advocate at all. They never did that with their archives, but they do it for Orange Man. Orange evil orangutan Hitler in the White House who poops on his hands and throws it at people, probably. It's like, it's not really journalism at that point. They dig out this tape from '92 that shows Trump partying with Epstein. Now, Trump is surrounded by young but adult women. We're talking like college-age women, old enough to drink. He's surrounded by a bunch of models and cheerleader sort of people. And he probably went back and banged several of them that night. He probably had group sex. He was a bachelor at the time. So women are like, well, he's not the greatest looker in the world, but he's Donald Trump. He's famous. He's fucking rich. At the very least, if I bang the dude, he probably buys me a limo or he buys me a sports car or something. Yeah, there are women that'll do that. There are men that'll do that too. It's just sort of the way that it works. It can be a little dubious. You can think, well, it's kind of slimy and grimy under. Okay, maybe so, but people do that. None of them were children. These are all clearly adult individuals. I'm thinking to myself, what relevance does it have to a case from the mid-2000s, which is the new case against Epstein, that Trump was friendly with him, partied with him in the 90s? And this isn't on his rape island. I don't even think he owned it at the time in '92. This is just a generic party of rich people getting together, and there are a bunch of party girls that happen to be there. It's sort of like clubbing or something. Do you think, I don't, by the way, do you think that Trump knew there was weird shit going on? I don't. I don't think at that time nobody apparently had a hunch about Epstein. He wasn't really involved in trafficking, I guess, at the time. The earliest charges you have are mid-2000s. 2003 to 2005 is the period canvassed by the new charges. The initial ones were from the early 2010s. That was the initial charge where he got the sweetheart deal, where it was basically, the equivalent of probation for a year and a half and registering, but nobody really gave a fuck, I guess, and didn't monitor him. Because, you have to be registered as a sex offender, but you can go to your private island, and if you're importing people from other countries, we don't give a fuck, basically, is what they told him, it seems. It was a really weird deal. I would like to believe that Acosta and others put in a proviso that they were going to keep an eye on him and make sure to conduct constant surveillance so that they could nail other people. But they bust out his island there and they find safes full of weird shit. So he's done. He's probably engaged in the illicit diamond trade, by the way. They found out. So there might be charges of an international nature that go beyond human trafficking. It looks like he was the kingpin of all sorts of vices, probably drug-related stuff too. Can you say Clinton Foundation in Haiti? Yeah, there's a reason why Weinstein spent so much. Anthony Weiner spent so much time in Haiti with the Clinton Foundation. There's a lot of human trafficking there. There's no reason to believe Trump's involved with anything. Oh my God, he partied with him in '92. So in other words, let's say that I have a live stream with a subscriber or something, or another YouTuber. 10 years later, it turns out they've been a serial killer the whole time. Am I supposed to magically have prescience and know that they're serial killing and say, well, there's something about them. I don't trust them. I'm not going to have a live stream with them anymore. That's not the way it works. Trump couldn't have known. There's no indicator that at the time he knew Epstein well enough. So, do you think that Epstein would have come to say, hey, you want to come to my island and do illicit things? I've got illegal diamonds, and I've got people illegally young who will give you massages. I've got drugs and stolen cars and stuff. Do you think that he came up to Donald Trump, of all people, who at the time was considered sort of the law and order side of the corporate structure, kind of an above-board kind of guy? Do you think he actually would have done that? No, he would have waited and gotten to know the dude, but there's no indicator they ever knew each other particularly well. They were never great friends. They met up a few times. Trump took Epstein's plane back to New York City once. And went to a couple of parties, never on his private land, including hosting him at the Mar-a-Lago before he got apparently forced out. Now, there is question as to why. The official line is that he was trying to get touchy-feely with someone, like the daughter of an employee, and Trump had him kicked out. It could have been a routine security thing, or it could have been maybe it was non-payment of fees and dues. Who knows? He got kicked out of the Mar-a-Lago. We do know that. He was kicked out of Trump properties for some reason. We're not 100% sure why. I'll just go along with it and say it was because, Trump said, well, enough is enough. He's harassing my employees. Because I have a feeling Trump is a sort of person where he'll be very gregarious, but if you go onto one of his properties and act like you're entitled, like you're in charge, I have a feeling he doesn't like that. I have a feeling he likes to micromanage and feel in charge of everything around him. That probably makes him feel threatened, and he probably doesn't deal with it too well. In all honesty, like if you got invited to the White House, give him deference, because if you don't, if you try to be the life of the party, I don't think Trump will find it amusing. I think that he'll never talk to you again. Just my general reading of his particular character, if I had to guess. There's no indicator that Trump did anything illicit. But everyone knew he was like the party bachelor back in the early 90s. Yeah, I mean, he's like gets divorced, he's a billionaire, he likes to hang around young, attractive women, but not that young. What, so it's wrong? You can think it's slimy for some 40, 50-something-year-old businessman to be around like a 22-year-old woman and like schmoozing with people half his age. Think of it as slimy, but it's not pedophilia and it's not illegal. And it's not an indicator that he knew anything that, untoward was going on with Epstein. You got a couple billionaires, they're like, yes, we got all these sugar babies in here, and basically they let us paw them up and we buy them expensive things. That's basically what it boils down to. This happens all the time in corporate America. Happens in DC and Hollywood too. When you see someone who's like, 25 years old with Hugh Hefner, why do you think they're with Hugh Hefner? It's not for his good looks. It's not for the actual function of his wang. It's because he's rich and he happens to be well known. That's the only reason. Then you've got losers like, there were jokes about Bill O'Reilly, how he couldn't even get laid from sexually harassing people at Fox, allegedly. And then so you have people like that are on the opposite end. It's like, it doesn't matter that they're rich and famous. They still can't do anything because they're messed up. That's about all. Peace out.